Next talk, Urs Güttinger from Bossard and Philipp Thomann from D1 will present their project. Urs Güttinger has been responsible for technology development as a CTO. Philipp Thomann's areas of expertise are machine learning, statistics and data mining, phones, coffee machines, cars and airplanes. It's all about screws, nuts and bolts. What is the best fastening element for your brilliant new product? The sales force and the engineers of Bossard Group are faced daily with this question. This is why Bossard built a data and AI-driven product solution advisor. And I see we're setting up something here, but welcome, gentlemen. Are you ready to start?
Yes.
Very good. Then go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Urs Güttinger from Bossard. Together with Philipp Thomann from D1, we will present you our use case. We Bossard are an international company, so we are dealing with products, ten thousands of products. We are dealing with screws, nuts, bolts, and a lot of other technical products. So some of you may know our catalog with about 50,000 different products in, but that's not all. We have a lot of more of technical products, and if we count it all together, so we have then 1 million products in our portfolio. And now the question is, how can we help our people to select the right product? So if a customer comes to us with a joining problem, so we have different solutions, and that's quite complex to find the right and perfect solution for a customer. It's different if it's for a train, for a coffee machine, or for a car. Then we came up with the idea why we not produce a production solution advisor. And we had the goal that we have a knowledge base or an AI-driven knowledge base that makes the knowledge efficiently available for our employees in real time. So it's simple, just take artificial intelligence and let them know what they have to learn, give them our Bossard knowledge, and that's what we think. It's a simple thing, and then we learned very fast that's not so simple. It's a complex. We have different data sources. They are more or less usable for this kind of problem. That came up to, dear D1, can you help us to bring this knowledge into an artificial intelligence?
Yes, thanks. So we like this question a lot. And our question that we asked then you was, well, what are the assets for the PSA? What can you bring with us? Because we don't know your business at all. We know what to do with data. So what we did is we looked at these different possibilities or the different assets for this product solution advisor. The first one was semi and unstructured data, so whatever lies in the customer relationship management system. This is, for instance, extremely interesting because there the employees they visited a client and they talked about this and this problem, and they came up with offering that and that product. So that was really important, and we used that, we enriched it with machine learning techniques and put everything into an Elasticsearch database. So those of you who attended yesterday the pre-conference workshop about NLPC know what I'm talking about there. The next part is structured data. So there is lots of structured data available. The list of products, what are their dimensions, the hierarchy in the e-shop, in which category does a product fall, and so on. So this is also really important. But the most important part for the PSA is in the heads of the experts, because the experts are one of the biggest assets, I would say, for Bossard. they immediately know if somebody comes and say they want to fasten something in a ship, then they say, it's a marine application. Then it has to be waterproof, even if it's inside the ship. And it has to be corrosion safe, because there will always be this humidity in the air. So this expert knowledge was the thing that we needed to grasp. And this was also maybe the biggest challenge, discussing with the experts and finding a form that we can formalize this knowledge and bring that together. So now we have these different parts that we want to bring together. You could put everything into a simple SQL database. We thought, no, we want something better. We want to have an object graph. So what we did, we put everything into a Neo4j ontology. You see there in the middle the axis of articles and products, which is at the center of the product solution advisor. On the left-hand side, you see the CRM messages, how they are linked to offers and to users and so on. On the right-hand side, you see categories, for instance. So each product lives in a sub-category. That lives again in a sub-category and so on. Also, dimensions were in it. That's important. We got everything out of the structured data there. And the expert knowledge, that was the most important part, because we could put that really nicely, it fit nicely into an object graph. So now we have this nice object graph that we can use, and we produced a UI for that. So this UI handles both the filtering mechanics, so that it's always the correct answer to a given problem setting, but it also suggests next best filters, and it combines it with the text search. So I will go now to the live demo. Good. Yeah, it's there. So you see here the interface. By default, the NUT technique is selected as a first filter. You see here the products. And here are the filters that might be interesting to select. So let's say the first application they need is one of the expert knowledge filters. They are here in green. It should be waterproof, so dicht. So we select that. And, I need to... So, let's see. So we click on dicht. Now we are still left with 100 products. You see immediately how the next filters changed. So based on what I'm now seeing, the filter, there are much less filter that make sense in this setting. So maybe the next thing is that they want to have a choice selection here. For the form of the nut's head, it should be a flat and round head. And now you see there are only 13 products left, but still 13 is a lot to go through. So the next question is, what is the width that should be fastened? So what is the width of the hole? And by that, what is the width of the nut? So the client says it has to be between 4 and 4.8. So you see out of the 13 products, only 11 have actually something there. So if we show here the articles, then you see only for this product here, there are still four different articles that still work for this setting. Now we add another thing. They want to use it for two applications. One, the length that it should fasten is 1 millimeter, and in the second thing, it is 5 millimeters. So you see immediately, okay, there are only 2 products, each with 1 article that are feasible for this situation. And such things to do in an e-shop would be extremely complicated. So this is, you can really grasp all the products with all the important information. Maybe do quickly another example. So they are in a tramway setting. So for a tramway, they want to do something. It should be good looking. So there is an expert filter for that, gutes Aussehen Schließkopf. And let's search for Straßenbahn, whether there was something written in the CRM. And only for one product do we have a reference, so we can quickly see, it's something for Straßenbahnen here in the subject of that. Yeah, so thanks. Let's go back to the slides. How does this filtering mechanics work now? So let's say the user selects one of the filters here, indicated in the ontology by a start filter, an attribute. This gets immediately drilled down through this graph. It goes and finds all the products connected to that attribute. This then means that a couple of the products are not feasible anymore. So this means also you can drill back and take out a couple of the filters that are not adding any information anymore. So you are left with next filters. It can now look, for instance, in the category, it will have a better way to find something away from the current possible filters to the products. Then it also filters, obviously, the CRM entries to the feasible products. If you now search for something, it might filter only the last document out, so you can get everything back, and you will see there's only one product left. Yeah. So where's the AI in all of that? And I think so. Artificial intelligence. One of the biggest part where this intelligence is for this product solution advisor is in the connectome of this object graph. So this is really something that resembles maybe the connectome in our brains in natural intelligence. But then also we use a couple of machine learning methods. Just for the data scientists in the audience, a quick show, but you can ask about that later. So we use PageRank to boost in this graph the best next filters. We use, for the texts, we have a couple of NLP methods. So we use Word2Vec for synonyms. We use the mentions of products, attributes, and dimensions. We link them with the ontology. There we have fuzzy search and regexes. Yeah, regexes are always important. We do named entity extraction. We also clustered the CRM messages by client. So they're Word2Vec vectors by client in order to get a hierarchy. And also we did something that we presented 2 years ago at SDS, abusing Word2Vec for different settings to do product embeddings, client embeddings, and also had some recommendations. So I hand it back to Urs to talk about the learnings.
So what are our learnings out of this project? So first of all, what we not known at the beginning is if the people are willing to share their knowledge with a company, with an artificial intelligence. And we find out very soon that the people are open to work together, give their knowledge out of their head. And that was a very positive start into the project. The next problem or situation is that we say, okay, we have a lot of data sources. So we have our ERP, everything is correct. Then we have our catalog data, still print catalogs available in our business. And then we have the eShop data. Everything for itself is correct, but if we link it together, we found out there are differences in. So as more as we could filter data, if we could have an access to this data in deep, so we found out problems. We found out differences. So in one product category, it's called D1, diameter 1. In another one is called D-nominal, and so we found a lot of inconsistencies in the data, and that gives us a lot of challenges in this project, and it makes it also very difficult to have an accurate system that works together with the people in a nice way. For us, it's positive. It's positive results. So what we will do now is to increase the granularity of the ontology in the next phases. But we have also to make sure that the user interface is good for the people, that we not have too much filters, so that there is efficient to access the data. Of course, data sources, if you have 1 million records, so there is a lot of additional optimization potential. And if we go to new market with other questions, so we do more user tests and we will roll out it in more departments to have a better usage and learning. It's a continuous learning and optimization of data and user interface. So there is not much left on time, but maybe there are some questions.
Yes, thank you, Urs and Philip. I might have to push you back a little bit. Yeah, thank you very much. So we have questions. For example, can you share any results on how PSA improved Bossard's KPIs, incremental revenue generation, improved customer satisfaction, influence, and on P&S design?
No, we don't have this yet. So, but the response of the people are, we are faster. We have also, to be honest here, we have only this in this rivet category done. So because we need to shape a little bit the data for this, and therefore we have not rolled out it in the whole company.
How long has this been running now?
How long?
How long have the users been able to use the database?
It's now maybe half a year, huh?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Where is the data hosted?
It's in the cloud right now.
All right.
Do you want to? Or, yeah.
I guess that answers that. I don't know.
Yeah. So at some point there will be the need to put it up into a better infrastructure, I guess. Right now it's just in a couple of VMs that we are using. Like that.
And which parts of the framework are tailored to Bossard and which could be also used for another company, Philip?
Well, I guess it's not a framework in itself. It's more like the ideas that are there, and the ideas are abstractly usable for any domain, I would say. Obviously, the expert knowledge that wouldn't be something that Bossard wants to share with others or competitors. But the idea is how to combine the knowledge graph and the search, for instance. These are some general things. I mean, I don't know what Google does when they are doing their search. They are also putting together the textual search, obviously, with what they call the knowledge graph. So whenever you have a Google search, you will see those boxes, and these are actually graph searches. And this is now one way of combining those two. Yeah, I think others can do it as well.
Mm-hmm. And how do you deal with different languages, and what do you do with Swiss-German emails, for example?
Fortunately, in the past, it was not that often that in Swiss German was a communication. So it was usually in High German. So we did not found a lot of Swiss German, but we have some business units. Maybe Austria, they're dealing with Hungary and so on, and these languages was a challenge. Maybe you can give some information here on the technical side.
Yes, so for instance, there were, so what I saw was lots of Polish texts, for instance.
Polish.
And that's always a challenge, yeah, to have it multilingual. Fortunately, most of the NLP methods nowadays work for many European languages. Once it would get into, say, the Chinese market, then this would be a challenge because there are not so many available models. So there, one would need to see how that works.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take to program that?
I guess the programming was not that big. So the biggest challenge was really finding a good communication with the experts. So how can they understand what we need from them, and how can we put it back into their hands so they can see how their decisions or how they formalize something, what is the impact into the product solution advisor. So this communication that was really the biggest part, I would say.
Yes, sorry.
Maybe I can add here something. What has extremely helped is what we did at the beginning, that D1 made a little artificial intelligent education with us as the project team. So they explained us the different methods, what that means, and that helped us to somehow understand what these data scientists ask us, and was a good start. So we had the feeling we are a little bit of experts and we understand what they speak with us. And it helped us to put in our knowledge in the right way that he can use it then in the technical way.
Is this now the final version, or are you still adapting it, improving it?
Yes, that's still our proof of concept. So we want to bring that a little higher, maybe the user interface, a little upgrade, and we have to optimize it, and then maybe we have to pack in more product groups.
And I don't know if you mentioned that. How did the sales force react to all of this? What is their opinion about it?
Okay, in general, they like it because it's a help for them. They have a mass of products that they should know, and there was a positive, mainly positive thing. Of course, you have some people, they have some. So if I'm replaced by a computer in the future, but in general, we can say there was very positive reaction because they need help.
And I think even so for those that have been with Bossard since 20 years, they obviously know lots of the products. But those that are there maybe since a couple of years only, for those I had the impression it was the first time that they really could understand this universe of products that Bossard has. Because it's a much better way to get into that universe than just through scrolling to the big catalog or through going to the eShop. So this data experience is really important, and I think I heard that also by them that was really something completely new for them.
We got another question. How long was the project?
I think from the first discussion until we presented the first proof of concept, it was approx a year.
Yes.
But the programming was not a year. It was really to learn, to understand, to make the data available. That was the big step, and then the solution was easier then.
Thank you very much, Urs and Philipp, and I hope you also get the chance to network some more out there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for taking your
Thank
time.
you. Thanks a lot.